We are live. Dan Morasci with Finley Home Services. How are you, sir?
I'm well, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I appreciate you being the second victim on this short YouTube um, interview, and we're talking about the industry, the real estate industry. We're talking about local businesses, and really excited to have you today. Love to turn it over to you and for you to give us a brief intro.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate you reaching out. It's always fun to talk a little shop and
Sure.
let people know what we do and why we do it. We're kind of a multifaceted group. We have a real estate oriented segment, and then we also have just a B2C, or B2C with our general pest control. So general pest control, killing ants and spiders on a bi-monthly basis, taking care of rodents, birds, things like that in between. If something comes up, if you have a need, we can service commercial industry on that side as well as residential. And then the real estate stuff is really where I've kind of made my hay the last 7 or 8 years, building relationships with real estate professionals, investors, property managers, realtors, things like that, to offer home and termite inspections, and then also the termite reconstruction and repair, termite treatments, fumigations, things like that.
Great, great. All right, we're going to jump right in to our questions because we're trying to keep it around 10 minutes. So, as a business owner, as a business family service business owner, what have you guys been? What have been the challenges from working from home, shelter in possession for your team and or your customers?
Yeah, so we're seeing it's interesting. Our pest control division was immediately deemed an essential service, so they've been out doing their thing. We're doing probably everything. We're doing what we can to not go into homes. We don't really have a lot of internal activity in that regard.
Okay.
Spraying the exterior, knocking down spider webs, things like that. So that's really been. I think I saw someone said business as usual-ish. I really liked that because for the most part, our guys are really doing the same job. They're just taking way more precautions. We're wearing gloves, we're keeping distance, we're wearing booties, we're wearing masks. And then the real estate side's been a little different because we've been trying to figure out if it's an essential business, and then by county, city by city. They're going in and kind of giving their opinions as well. So we immediately saw last Saturday a big divide between like Sacramento and Placer County, where Placer, and I don't want to misspeak, but Placer seemed a little more liberal on it, where Sac was taking a very much more conservative stance. So
Interesting.
but same thing on that. I mean, we still have to offer these services in order for us to support our clients on the real estate side. As long as you guys are going to sell property, we have to support you.
Sure.
And we want to support you, more importantly. So we're doing everything we can. We're carrying hand sanitizer, wearing masks, wearing gloves, wearing booties, keeping our distance. I mean, those are the big ones, the easy stuff.
Okay, great. Number two, have you guys rethought your business model at all? And if so, well, in addition to that, what do you guys feel is everybody's different in this industry? What do you guys see as your value proposition now or currently or in the past?
Yeah, and Zach and I were talking a lot about this. We've been very relationship oriented, the handshake and the face-to-face business, where
Yeah.
Zach and I have built, who we are and what we are kind of on the back of that. Where this is, really kind of pushed us to recognizing the importance of some more e-marketing, some email campaigns. We're doing videos at least one a week, just talking about stuff and really trying to bring value and not always be selling, And I think Zach and I have always kind of done that anyways, where we're not necessarily always selling, but we do try and position ourselves as a resource.
Right.
So really just kind of keeping that theme, but transferring it to the digital platform and digital space and being able to get that out to our people and make sure that they know that we're here for them.
Sure. And don't you feel that that's changed over the past 5 years, whereas now people are looking for more of a resource and a guide
Yeah,
versus,
absolutely. It's funny. I mean, I probably get I probably get as many calls from clients of mine asking for a plumber or an electrician
Right.
or or something outside than I do for inspections and things like that, which is totally cool. I mean, I'll take all the calls I can get if my phone's ringing. It's a good day.
It's great because it means they trust you, man.
Absolutely, and that's really what we've tried to build over the years. It's funny. I mean, going back, I remember being terrified when all the new rules came in with TRID, and we're like, oh man, this is going to make our job more difficult. Well, we recognized pretty quickly it was actually the opposite. It was really beneficial for our business, for title and escrow, to say, hey, we want to keep as many people out of this transaction as possible. We're not just letting everybody come in, and that really benefited our business in that regard. And then, when EXP started and knowing you and having our relationship and with Brent and all those guys and seeing, like, it was terrifying going, wait a minute, you guys are going into these like cloud spaces, and how the heck am I going to get in front of you guys? And, I better know the right people to put us on to get us out in that digital space. But it always came back to that relationship and the ability to pick up a phone and have that conversation, say, hey, Sean, are you guys having a team meeting this week? Can I pop by and say hello? And, just figuring all those things out. So it's been pretty neat.
I love it. So I was listening to some today, and it was talking about in China, now that they've gone through the worst of this COVID-19 pandemic, I should say, the real estate sales have tripled, which is crazy. So this is a follow-up question to what we've just been talking about and moving forward. Do you guys see this as an opportunity to rebuild the brand?
As far as rebuilding the brand, no, because I mean, we don't want to rebuild our brand, really. I mean, the company's only 7 years old, so I mean, we're still really in our infancy, is the way that we look at it. But certainly, we're pushing the brand out harder than we ever have before. We've had quite a bit of communication with with some of our competitors and keep an eye on what they're doing. And obviously with Zach's relationship with one of our big competitors and my relationship with one of our other big, seeing them, I mean, they flat out told us they were withdrawing their marketing efforts, and me and Zach looked at each other and go, it's time to throw down.
Double down, baby.
Absolutely. So we've just been doing everything we possibly can to grab up anything and everything we possibly can.
I love that. And going through the recession, you saw that happen a lot as well. Not that there's a mirror in what happened in 2008 and 2009 to now, but those folks, those businesses that doubled down or saw it as an opportunity, maybe it's not a rebuild of the brand, but maybe it's a different a different marketing message, or different media that you're exposing yourself to the marketplace with.
I mean, for us, I mean, it talks about getting comfortable being uncomfortable. I mean, Zach and I pushing stuff out through e-marketing has really not been our MO for.
Agreed. Okay, we'll go to number 4. So let's talk about business goals. How have your business goals been affected, so far for 2020?
Well, honestly, we've been looking at our business year over year, month over month, and we slaughtered March, like 20 over 19. We slaughtered it. So we're just keeping an eye on it. I don't know if we've necessarily changed a whole bunch of stuff or readjusted the goals. But we're definitely keeping an eye on, how much are the phones still ringing? Are we still, are we still booking as many inspections every day? Are we still picking up, how are we picking up, clients on pest control where maybe we're looking at, getting people that are really, really into supporting local businesses, saying, hey, if you're really supporting local businesses, are you with one of the big guys for your pest control service? Would you consider switching over? There's no charge for that. So how can we grow that business in this time? Building off of the things that people are paying attention to in social media that are socially popular ideas. And really we've kind of jumped on the piggyback of that support local business, support small business, and tried to figure out how we can continue to grow there.
I love it. So I'm going to bring that and sum it up for the audience, at least the agent audience, is you're looking at those key indicators that are driving revenue to determine, what the month's P&L probably is going to look like. Just like we need to be looking at, how many closed every day, how many are coming on market, how many are pending, et cetera, et cetera. So it's very important now more than ever to be in touch with those numbers.
Yeah, and finding who the resources are, I mean, I religiously follow Ryan Lundquist because he's got such a good finger on the pulse of what's going on in Sacramento and Placer and El Dorado counties, which are like our home base, like he's talking about the areas that are most important to me. We're watching pendings, we're watching, the cancels, we're watching, contracts written, properties are going into contract, like having those relationships and being able to lean on those people for that information. I mean, I love trying to decipher numbers and figure out what they're saying. And so, I mean, for me, it's super cool. I almost like, it's part of my routine. It's not on my calendar, but it's part of my routine. I look Ryan up on LinkedIn every day.
He's solid. I mean, the information that he puts out is so detailed and yet easy to.
Yeah, I mean the stuff you've been putting out. I mean, I like look forward to that coming out. I'm like, this is good stuff.
It's coming here in about 15 minutes, man.
Perfect. Like, like make sure it's shareable. So I'm going to ask because like I said, we want to make sure that, again, that we're providing value to our clients, and we've got 2,000 people that follow us on Facebook, which isn't a ton, but it's good, and it's a growing number. The more valuable stuff we can put out there, the more likes we can get, and the more we can keep our brand in front of people.
That's it, man. Somebody was telling me he who puts the most content out right now is going to win when this thing is over.
Yeah. So, and I think it's important too to quantify the content. We're not just pushing anything and everything out. I've learned really, really quickly. It was funny. I wanted to put something out optimistic the other day, and it was it was a report that some Stanford student had come out with something that was super optimistic, saying, hey, if we continue doing what we're doing, we might come out of this thing faster than. And one of the comments on it was, well, this is one of the least credible sources on the internet. And I go, yeah, but it's optimistic, and I feel like I don't want to put out 100% optimistic stuff because there's reality as well at the end of it. But I thought it was really interesting. It's like, hey, cool. Like, look at these guys are looking at trying to figure out how to move the finish line closer and actually talking about it.
Sure. I like it, buddy. I like it. Okay. We're moving on. So, and this, do your best to answer this question, but how are you facilitating bringing people, customer, clients, employees together during this time?
We, with our team, we use a lot of, we use Group Messenger. For all of our different teams inside. We've got one for the whole company. And then we've got one for each division. So we're really trying to keep tabs on each other there. Okay. With our clients, how are we trying to bring them together? We're not necessarily trying to bring them together. I mean, quite honestly, I would just be flat out lying if I said people were lining up to follow the termite and home inspection company and what they're putting out there. It's it's tough sledding for us as far as, getting those raving fans, especially we have, and as our pest control division grows, we can grow that. I mean, our pest control people seem to love us, which is awesome. That's really important to us. But our real estate stuff, a lot of times it's transactional. It's, and that's what I've always talked about, having the relationship with the realtor so that they're referring to us, because ultimately you're not our client, you're our referral source, and we appreciate that. Our client is typically your client. It's a shared client of ours, and we need to make sure that we're doing our part to deliver on what we say we're going to do a great job, to not only make us look good and keep us out of the, the legal crosshairs, but to make you look good as a referral source. And that's tough. I think a lot of companies like us make the mistake of thinking that the realtor is their client, when really you're our referral source, which is even more important than being a client.
Right. Yeah. The typical realtor probably gives you 5 or 6 clients a year if they're doing their job properly.
Exactly.
Okay. So how are you seeing people, customers, employees, getting through this? Everybody's in a different basket. Many people are afraid, optimistic, hopeful. Some people are terrified. So, maybe you can share what you guys are doing to remain
Yeah.
optimistic during this time, or
You
the
know,
message that you're sending to employees?
yeah, we've probably got the full spectrum, in house as far as, some people are pretty cautious, and we've got other people that are, that are tough as nails and not
Sure.
scared of anything. So we just, we talk openly about it, and if someone has concerns, we recognize their concerns and let them know. We provided the opportunity to work from home, so we've got a couple people that come in. We don't have a ton of people in our office, anyways. I think there's 4 of us here right now. So just giving those options and letting people do what they're most comfortable with. We tried to make it really clear, hey, if you're not comfortable coming into the office to work, don't come in. Work remotely. We actually, fortunately, we were having our phone system redone anyways, which gave us the ability to forward phone calls to cell phones and allow us to get work done from home. On the client side, we're about to push something out today to our current realtor base that basically just says, hey, here's what we're doing. I mean, here's our standards of practice. I think people are sick and tired of seeing that email from, one of the first things that popped up on social media was like, oh, it's so nice to know how every company that's ever received my email address is handling the COVID-19 situation. And I thought that was pretty funny. So we wanted to lag that. We didn't actually want to be out there in one of the emails that was just getting, swiped out of there. So we strategically wanted to kind of hold back and wait until, we're kind of more in the middle and say, hey, you know what, this is really important to us and this is how we're handling it. And we're going to push that out to our current client base. Obviously not, a marketing piece, just a touch point.
Love it. How have you personally been affected?
Oh, I've got family that, my dad and my sister are both in the at-risk populations. Yeah. So just checking in on them. It's probably, it's made me communicate with them more. It's so funny. I'm a very social person, but I probably do a way better job of socializing with colleagues and friends than I do with my family. So, my dad texts me every morning now, and and I'm following up with him going, hey, stay safe. Like,
Sure. Well, that's great. And health and great wishes to your family, Matt.
Yeah, they're both doing good. Nothing, no concerns at the moment. And then, personally, just staying committed. We ended up, my wife jumped on a Peloton bike, right? Kind of when all this stuff was, so we got that delivered, and we're staying active. And man, my dogs might be winning this whole thing. One of them is like done with walks. She's like, I'm done walking.
I feel you there, man. Okay, so if this ended tomorrow, how long? What do you think as far as timeline? Will this impact your business?
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. I mean, and I was thinking about this. Oftentimes in business, we view that fluidity as an advantageous state.
Yeah.
Or it's like, man, I mean, trying to follow up on what they're doing with workers' comp and all the financial programs they're trying to put out there to support small business, and they seem to change, not by the day, by the freaking hour.
Right.
So trying to stay on top of that. I would say, if this ended today and business went back to business as usual, which it won't, I think there's going to be some scarring. I think people are going to be slow to fully get back into the real estate process. The pest control stuff, I think it'll fall right back in line. We've only had a handful of people calling, concerned about canceling their service or anything. We basically just offered to say, hey, put it on hold. Don't go anywhere. We don't want to have to charge you a new startup fee. We'll follow up with you in a couple months when this stuff blows over. Hopefully everything goes well for you guys. So we will probably, we'll probably start anticipating what we think the decline will be. Fortunately, there was so much momentum going in real estate. We're still pretty optimistic about that. And the numbers that we're seeing, I mean, worst case scenario, we would see flat growth year over year. I mean, unless this thing goes 4 or 5 months, that would be really, really tough on us. but we've been really financially responsible as a business. And you know, we're small. We're not huge. We don't have this massive overhead, which really, you know, that was one of the first things that Zach and I were talking about. I was like, dude, we're in a really advantageous position as far as comparatively speaking, I guess, to some of our competitors.
Wonderful. Good answer. Okay. What can the viewers, those who are watching, what can we do to help support and serve you guys?
Transfer your pest control service. Give us a call. And keep us in mind. We're out doing home inspections. We're out doing termite inspections. We're doing everything we possibly can to keep you guys safe and support your business at the same time. We do realize, we've had the conversations. I mean, this pandemic is going to probably make some people look at their mortgage payment and realize that the affordability of their house is not what they thought it was. And you're going to see those properties go to market, and they're going to have to move. So again, we want to be here to support. At the same time, we're not just out here going, give us everything. You know, we want to do it responsibly and in a mature way, and respect everything that's going on. While at the same time, you know, maintain our business.
Okay, final question. One piece of advice for other business owners out there, and also for realtors and brokers during this time.
Be a sponge. Get on. I mean, I've been, man, the podcasts I've been listening to, the information I've been seeking out, the utilization of technology to get in front of people. I mean, do it. Do it. Send the text message, make the phone call, have the conversation. You know, don't get out of bed. I mean, get out of bed, get dressed, work. Like, it's hard. Like, I was joking.
It's so funny. Randy said the same thing yesterday.
Really? Yeah.
Same thing. Stay disciplined.
I was talking with my wife this morning. I did my master's degree in education like 12 years ago, and I taught for a year and I quit. And she goes, "You're the worst home teacher ever." I said, "Well, that's why I quit." I said, "That's why I quit teaching." She says, "You have no patience for your own kids." I said, "I know. That's why I quit teaching. I don't have patience for other people's kids either."
All right, brother. Well, great advice, man. Any last closing thoughts before we wrap up here? I really appreciate you.
That's it, man. No, I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you for the
on the hot seat.
Line, and we'll talk soon, brother. Stay safe.
Okay, buddy. Take care.
See you
Later.